put your arms around in the same area that you would do CPR in. So the little area which is called the sternum. You're gonna go in there, and then you're gonna kind of bend over them, and then you're gonna go in and scoop out. Go in and scoop up. Does that make sense?
No.
All right. Nope. Okay. So one more time. Let's look at it from the side, right? You're gonna have your arms around it. You're gonna go in and up, up. It's like it's a very swift motion. You're not gonna break it down in steps. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break it down step by step, so you're gonna just try to scoop up. Okay? You're always gonna be scooping up.
In your leg placement, you're gonna go and you're gonna put your leg, your dominant foot forward. You're gonna hold him back. You're gonna lean him towards you, and you're gonna go up. It's gonna be easier. You're gonna go this way. You're gonna pull towards you, and he's kind of gonna be up. He's gonna be leaning towards you. You're gonna go up. And if it's like a 300, 400, 250-pound man, and you're smaller than him, or if it's a bigger guy and he's taller than you, and you don't think you can do it, then there's other techniques that Fad's gonna go over with you. Okay?
Right. So let's say that you are smaller than this person that's children, right? What you're gonna do is have them bend over on a ledge or a chair. So either you have a chair that they bend over on, or that you have like some sort of table or ledge. Once you get them in the position that you can go ahead and put your hands there, that's what you're gonna do. Does that make sense for a bigger person?
And if they're too big, like you can't get your hands around them, then there's only one option, and that's take them to the floor and kind of do a CPR motion.
All right.
Until they lose responsiveness, and Fad's gonna go over that with you now.
Perfect. So one more thing, let's say somebody's pregnant. Like a sister is pregnant and you have to kind of help her out while she's choking. You're gonna do the same exact thing. You will not harm the baby. Just go over the just don't go in her stomach where the baby is, go over it. There's like a little there's a bump you're just gonna go over it. Does that make sense? You're still gonna do it on a pregnant lady. Alright? So let's say you're doing that. You're doing the Heimlich maneuver and you can't get it out, they're still choking, and now they keep turning blue and they pass out. You're gonna set them on the floor, they're unresponsive now, you don't have to tap them, ask them if they're okay, because they're already unresponsive. You're gonna now immediately begin CPR. Same exact process. 30 compressions. There's only one alternative thing that you're gonna do is after every 30 compressions, you're gonna go in, open the mouth, and see if that thing came up or not. Okay? You're gonna do your 30 compressions. When you check, if you don't see anything, you don't want to put your hands in there and try to scoop anything out. If you look in there and that object is sitting there and you think you can safely reach it and grab it out, go ahead and reach down and grab it out. What you don't want to do is put your hand in there and shove it in there deeper. Does that make sense? So, let's say you're doing your compressions, you keep looking, you don't see anything, you're just gonna keep doing your compressions and keep checking after 30 until either the object comes out or until help arrives. Alright? Now, let's say that you're giving that person breaths, okay? You're gonna do your 30 compressions, you're gonna first check the mouth if that object has came up. If you don't see anything, you're gonna give your breath. Don't worry, the breath is not gonna push the thing in if you tilt the chin up correctly. Any questions on that?
The object can go down to the
Yes.
to the stomach, and they can swallow
Yes.
instead of
Yes.
coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
Very rare, but yes.
Okay.
Let's say that you are pushing up. Yes and no, because let's say you are giving compressions, everything inside the body will go up.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Very rarely will the object go down.
Okay.
But if it does, that's good.
Okay.
Because now it's not in the airway anymore. But there is two different openings, right? The object is probably stuck right over here.
Okay.
Once the object is right over here, there's two pathways it can go, either in the lungs or in the stomach. Okay? Once you tilt the head up, the area to the lung cuts out. So now it doesn't go in the lungs, it will go down in the stomach if you push it in. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, now let's talk about a baby's choking. So, same thing with the baby. The baby's gonna be choking, they're gonna probably be making noises, they're gonna turn blue. You're gonna go in there, you don't wanna put your fingers in there unless you're sure you can take them out. If you can't take it out, you're gonna go ahead and perform what is called a choking CPR. So, what you're gonna do is, you're gonna always tilt the baby down towards gravity. If I start pressing now, if the object is in there, it's gonna go down. With the baby, it's a lot easier than trying to have a grown adult and you tilt them down. How are you gonna do that, right? But with a baby, if you are sitting down, you're gonna have the baby next to you, they're gonna be choking. You're gonna wanna tilt them down, you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? After you're 5, you're gonna turn that baby and you're gonna slap his back 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This whole process, that baby is pointing downwards and you are smacking in a direction with the gravity. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Immediately turn them over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna keep doing this until either you get the object out of the baby's mouth or the baby becomes unresponsive. Now, once the baby becomes unresponsive, what do? CPR. Now you're gonna go back to 30. After the 30, you're gonna check if it's there, if you can take it out or not. Go back to giving the compressions. Does that make sense?
Now, how are you gonna know if someone is choking on something when they come into a room and they just find the person unresponsive? How are you gonna know to check the airway?
CPR right away.
You just do CPR. You don't check the airway. You don't know, so it's the same exact process. So if you arrive on a situation, you're not gonna know if this person is choking or not. They're just gonna be unresponsive and they're in a state of cardiac arrest. So you're gonna need to perform CPR. Does that make sense?
I heard, I don't know how much is truth involved in that. If somebody choke, adult, they're embarrassed to ask for help. They're trying to run out away from the people. That way you have to follow that person to see if that person, I heard some like a 30-40%, our community, they kind of feel embarrassed and then they try to run away from the gathering.
That's very like.
So honestly, look, I was choking once when I was a kid, and I did exactly what you said. I didn't want anybody to look at me because I was choking. So I was eating like a hot dog, and for some reason I decided to swallow half of it. I didn't chew my food when I was young. I was hella fat, and I just wanted to eat and swallow, right? So I swallowed the hot dog, and it got stuck right over here. And I was able to cough it out, but I did run away from people because I didn't want people to look at me. Now that could be a situation. What do you do when that happens? You don't know. Are you just gonna chase everyone that runs away? Probably not.
No, I mean like a close, your relative or the.
If it's your close, your relative, you see your child running away, you're gonna be like, why are you running away? What's wrong? Follow them. And then if they're choking, go ahead and get your Heimlich maneuver. You have a question.
Be alert to these situations. It's very important. Be alert.
Go ahead.
They matter. If it's a tweaker, you're not gonna know.
Right. So, exactly. So, okay. One more time. So, you have a baby that is choking. That baby that is choking is still not unresponsive. That means that they are still either making noises, gagging, and crying, doing all those noises, right? So that's what you're doing with 5 chest compressions or 5 slaps. You're gonna keep doing that until that object comes out because it's towards gravity. So when you smack, it's gonna fly out. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna keep consistently smacking and checking. No, you're just gonna keep slapping until the baby becomes unresponsive. Now you're gonna go ahead and do your compressions. What that means is the object is way too deep down and you just can't get it out. So those 5 slaps, if you're doing them correctly, you should be able to get it out. Does that make sense?
And instead of it coming out, you're gonna go ahead and give breaths. If the person has become unresponsive, you're gonna start breathing into the mouth because at this point, the thing is lodged in too deep, right? So now you need to push it in and it needs to go in the other way. There's no other option. It's not gonna come out. You've been doing this and you've been doing it properly for the past 5 minutes. But the most important thing is when someone, gets into this choking thing, is call 911. Call 911. Even if they don't show up, even if they don't come, call 911. That's the first step. Call 911. Anything emergency happens, call 911. You get a fat bill for $15,000, $20,000. Who cares if that's what it costs to save your life? Okay? Like, call 911 because they are trained professionals. They're gonna come out. Most likely you have Medi-Cal, Medicare, whatever it is. Alhamdulillah, the government pays for these type of things, right? So they're gonna come out. They're gonna see what's going on. They're gonna be on the phone with you and whatever's going on. It's gonna take them 10 minutes. Okay? So that time when you're doing the Heimlich, if they're okay, if they're on the phone with them and they're gonna see that you're okay, you tell them, oh hey, everything's fine. I actually got the thing that was making him choke. I got it to go away. He's okay. Alhamdulillah, right? There's no harm, no foul, right? But if the person does need CPR, at least they're on their way, and that 8-9 minutes, it takes the person about 2 to 3, 4, 5 minutes to become unconscious. So they will only need CPR from you for 5 minutes, and then the EMT professional will come with 6 people, which is going to be in a hospital setting, in a better situation, a higher statistic, a higher chance for them to keep going, a higher chance for them to basically get you to pass this cardiac arrest stage that you're in. Okay? So number one rule that we're not gonna forget is call 911, right? Brother, you have a question?
Yeah, if somebody is taller than me and is short or wider chest, if I can grab them from the waist area to do this,
No,
to
just put him to the floor. Put him
Okay.
to the floor.
Okay.
Or as Fahad said, put him to the chair. But
Okay.
if you can't get around his waist, he's too big, then put him to the floor.
Okay. Got it.
You're like, if you have to think twice, what's gonna be faster? You finding a chair, finding a service? Go to the floor, I'm gonna try and help you,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
First you start with the back slaps, like the good old back slaps your mom and dad gave you when you were choking.
Right.
Boom, boom, you give a kadma Allah, I think as much as God gives, right? And then what? And then if they're still choking, put them to the floor. If you cannot get around them. If you can, then do the hand maneuver, okay? Do you guys want to start going over the baby CPR?
Yes.
We're gonna do the 5, what is it called? Chest compressions, 5 back slaps, and then when you guys do the compressions and back slaps, you're gonna check the airway as soon as